from the okay. So good evening, everybody again. Today we continue the Dharma talk about the Visakha. And our subject of the Visakha, because the Visakha is occasion that three important things happen for the Buddha. It's the birthday of the Buddha, dying of the Buddha, and enlightenment of the Buddha. The first talk I talked 1 week before the Visakha, and it was 2 weeks ago I talked about it. Because I talked about the birthday of the Buddha. Last week, Sunday, on the beginning of I talk about I start to talk about the Maha-parinibbana Sutta, which is the last day of the Buddha. Actually, it's the Sutta, it's Digha Nikaya, it's the long list, course, number 16, and it's talking about 1 year, the last 1 year of the Buddha. Okay? The Buddha is walking about almost 200 kilometers till the place that he's dying. So it's about 1 year before that he's dying, different stories. And the last story that we talk about also is the city of Vasali. Vasali is about 187 kilometers from Kusinagar. Kusinagar is the place where the Buddha passed away. So there, the Buddha first he was sick. So because he didn't announce to the monk that he's going to die, so we have to overcome by power the sickness. So he could overcome it. But then what happened is the Buddha was old. He was already almost 80 years old. So it's the time for him to finish his life, or he's almost at the end of the life. But if Ananda was asking him to stay, or anyone would ask Buddha to stay longer, so the Buddha said that he give hint to Ananda that if someone would ask him to stay, so he will be able to hold to make extensions to his life and to extend the life maybe even another 20 years or something like this. He said to Ananda, he's 80 years, but if someone wants, he can finish even 100 years. He told Ananda about 20 times hint, but Ananda didn't understand. And what happened in the last time is that he gave the hint in Vasali to Ananda to ask him to stay, but Ananda didn't understand it. And then Mara took advantage of it. And after Ananda Mara came to the Buddha and he said to the Buddha, you promised that if you have four kind of students, that they're also practicing, also understand the Dharma, follow the Dharma, and also teaching others, then you will finish your duty. And it means which four? One of them is a monk, man monk. Another is a woman monk, bhikkhuni, so bhikkhu and bhikkhuni. Then lay people, which is also practicing, also walking the Dharma, understanding the Dharma, and also teaching. And also lay women, they're doing the same thing. And this moment, actually, the Buddha completes his mission. So he could not say to Mara, no, I don't want to go. I refuse to your request. So he has to obey to this asking of Mara, please finish your life. So he told them, you are evil one, who are talking out of bed. Don't talk out of compassion to me, actually, but you are against the sentient being. So, but anyway, you will get it, and I will pass away another 3 months. So now from Vasali, Buddha is walking all the way to Phra. Phra is a city about 18 kilometers from Kusinara. This is the place where the Buddha passed away, Kusinara. So Phra is about 18 kilometers. So the Buddha is in the story that we was reading last time. I just remind you the story that we was reading last time. It's also describing about this 180 7 kilometers. Buddha give advice to the monks and different things happen there. And then he coming to Pava, and Pava he meet one man named Chunda. He offer the Buddha to eat. They say either meat from the pig or maybe fish. They don't know exactly. They know the name, but they don't know what is this kind of food. And this food is actually not good, and it's causing the Buddha to start and to die. The Buddha, he noticed it, he know it. He tell to Chunda to dig very deep underground and to cover this that even animal cannot eat it, because anyone will eat it, die. So, and the Buddha himself is the only one eating, and since this time, the Buddha started to suffer for about 24 hours from stomach problem. It's starting to kill him. And he's traveling for about 1 day from Pava to Kusinara. It's about 18 kilometers, and he's making about 25 times stopping on the way. So now we are continuing with our sutta, which I will share with you, and we continue. And I assume that Lisa is there. Lisa is there? Huh? Anyone is volunteer to read? Martin, can you read?
Can.
Please. So please, I will share. Okay, I will make share. Share. Okay, you can see?
Can.
Okay.
Ajarn.
Yeah. Please.
1 second. They're going to get my glasses.
Okay, please, yeah. Okay, lucky you're there, because I thought that Lisa will read, and but maybe something happened, she's busy or something.
No problem.
But anyway, you do it very well also. But you see the sutta which is written very clear?
Can. Yes.
Yeah. Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the Kukita River, then the Blessed One went to the Kukita River together with great community of bhikkhus. And he went down into the water and bathed and drank. And coming forth from the water again, he went to the mango grove, and there spoke to the Venerable Kundaka, saying, "Please fold my upper robe in 4 kandoka and lay it down. I am weary and would rest a while." "So be it, Lord." And Kundaka folded the robe in 4 and laid it down. And the Blessed One laid down on his right side in the lion's posture, resting one foot upon the other, and so disposed himself mindfully and clearly comprehending, with the time for rising held in his mind. And the Venerable Kundaka sat down right in front of the Blessed One.
Okay, so you see, this is one example that happened on the way. I told you that the Buddha stopped about 25 times, and this is just about I think 7 or 8 miles or something like that, about 18 kilometers altogether. And he has to stop so many times because his stomach actually cut, and he's bleeding. When you go to toilet, blood is coming. He drink very often, all the time. He's thirsty, but he can stay in the mind neutral because it's enlightened. It's not suffering from it. There is no suffering in the mind. But the body, it's like a wagon, something like you are sitting in the car, you try to drive the car, but the car is very old. So it's all that it's not working well. So, okay, you are not suffering because the car is not working, but still you cannot carry. It's not going anywhere. So this is something like this enlightened person will feel. He will not suffer the pain or the difficulties of the car or the truck, but still it will be heavy for carry or difficult to carry, not functioning. Okay? So this was, and now we continue.
Relieving Chunda's remorse. Then the Blessed One spoke to the Venerable Ananda, saying, "It may come to pass, Ananda, that someone will cause remorse to Chunda, the metalworker, saying, 'It is no gain to you, friend Chunda, but a loss that it was from you that the Tathagata took his last alms meal, and then came to his end.' Then, Ananda, the remorse of Chunda should be dispelled after this manner. It is a gain to you, friend Chunda, a blessing that the Tathagata took his last alms meal from you, and then came to his end. For friend, face to face with the Blessed One, I have heard and learned. There are two offerings of food which are equal fruition.
Okay, one moment before we continue to this subject. You see, Chunda is the man that actually give to the Buddha the last meal. This is what I told you, that Buddha, he go to Pava, and in Pava, someone, students or disciple or believer, give to the Buddha the fish or the pig, and then the Buddha start to die. It means that something like this person give him poison. But actually, he didn't give him poison. He didn't know. He had a good intention. It was delicious food. But the Buddha chose to took it. Even the Buddha knew that it is not good. Because why? The Buddha make a vow. Buddha speak it out that within 3 months he have to finish the life. Someone have to help him. He said, I need to go to visit my friend in Frankfurt. Someone need to help him, to take him, to drive him. Otherwise, he break the precept of the speech. So someone say, I want to take you, I give you a lift. You say, oh, help me to go to Frankfurt because I wanted to make the mission. So the Buddha, he make a mission. I have to finish my life. Someone has to finish to do it. But people don't understand. So they might say, why you kill the Buddha? Because of you, the Buddha died. So you have to tell them this is not correct. If people they think like this, they blame Chunda that he is the killer of the Buddha. So then you correct them and tell them this is not correct. And then it's actually very great blessing that you give the Chunda to the Buddha his food and help him to pass away. And now the Buddha explaining about 2 kinds of meal, which is very important. Yeah, please.
Mila.
Anama, Perry, Anama. Thank you. Yeah, please.
There are two offerings of food which are of equal fruition, of equal outcome, exceeding in grandeur the fruition and result of any other offerings of food. Which two? The one partaken by the Tathagata before becoming fully enlightened is unsurpassed, supreme enlightenment, and the one partaken of the Tathagata, which no element of clinging remains. By his deed, the worthy Chunda has accumulated merit which makes for long life, beauty, well-being, glory, heavenly rebirth, and sovereignty. Thus, Ananda, the remorse of Chunda, the metalworker, should be dispelled.
This is what the Buddha explaining. There is the girl, the woman named what's her name? Sujata. Yes, Sujata. She offered the Buddha the food before Buddha get enlightened. After the Buddha left the jungle, the mountain and the cave and ascetic, he started to eat. So Sujata, she was the woman that offered the Buddha the food before he just go and sit alone and get enlightened. So this is one kind of great food, that meal. So she gained a lot of merit by doing it. And then the second one is this what Chunda make, that he actually helped to the Buddha to fulfill his mission, to get into the final nirvana. So the Buddha said that this is not only that it's not good things, this is even a great blessing for him, great merit for him to do it. Please.
Then the Blessed One, understanding that matter, breathed forth the solemn utterance. Who gives his virtues shall increase. Who is self-curbed, no hatred bears. Who is skilled in virtue, evil shuns. And by the rooting out of lust and hate, and all delusion, comes to be at peace.
Okay, now we are actually entering slowly to the last Kusinara. Please.
Last place of rest. Then the Blessed One addressed the Venerable Ananda, saying, Come, Ananda, let us cross to the farther bank of the Hiranavati and go to the Malas Sala Grove in the vicinity of Kusinara. So be it, Lord. And the Blessed One, together with a large company of bhikkhus, went to the further bank of the river Hiranavati to the Sala Grove of the Malas in the vicinity of Kusinara. And there he spoke to the Venerable Ananda, saying, Please, Ananda, prepare for me a couch between the two sala trees, with the head to the north. I am weary, Ananda, and want to lie down. So be it, Lord. And the Venerable Ananda did as the Blessed One asked him to do. Then the Blessed One lay down on his right side in the lion's posture, resting one foot upon the other, and so disposed himself mindfully and clearly comprehending.
Okay, you see, this is actually the last position of the Buddha. There is the light. He is holding the hand like this, laying down on the right side. The head is to the north, okay? And this is actually in Kusina. We are going to be there in the pilgrimage. In February, we're supposed to go, sometime in February, I think we're supposed to go to the pilgrimage to visit these places. So we are coming to worship there also. So this explains how the Buddha came, and it was the two sala trees that the Buddha laid down in between. Yeah.
At that time, the twin sala trees broke out in full bloom, though it was not the season of flowering, and the blossoms rained upon the body of the Tathagata, and dropped and scattered, and were strewn upon it in worship of the Tathagata. And celestial Madhurava flowers and heavenly sandalwood powder from the sky rained down upon the body of the Tathagata, and dropped and scattered and were strewn upon it in worship of the Tathagata. And the sound of heavenly voices and heavenly instruments made music in the air out of the reverence for the Tathagata. And the Blessed One spoke to the Venerable Ananda, saying, Ananda, the twin sala trees are in full bloom, though it is not the season of flowering. and the blossoms rain upon the body of the Tathagata, and drop and scatter, and are strewn upon it in worship of the Tathagata. And celestial coral flowers and heavenly sandalwood powder from the sky rain down upon the body of the Tathagata, and drop and scatter, and are strewn upon it in worship of the Tathagata. And the sound of heavenly voices and heavenly instruments make music in the air out of reverence for the Tathagata.
Okay, just one moment, sorry. You see what happened here? The Buddha is laying down. Tathagata, it means the one that reached in here. It's the name that the Buddha called himself. This is how the Buddha referred to himself. The one which he don't say I am, on me, on me, on me. There is no I. Okay, there is anatta, non-self. So the Buddha called him the one that reached in here, the one that crossed over or whatever. But so this is the name of the Tathagata. Tathagata is the name of the Buddha. The Buddha, he referred to himself in this name. So he showed what happened is that suddenly all the nature and the angels start to worship the Buddha. But why it's mentioned? Why they have to say, oh, so beautiful? Because the Buddha, here you are going to see what is really worshipping of the Buddha. What Buddha say about worshipping of the Buddha. Even so much worshipping of the Buddha in the nature, the tree bring flowers not in the time. It's not the season, but and then music of the angels and all this wonderful worshipping. But what the Buddha said to Ananda, please, yes, it is not. Yeah?
Yet it is not thus, Ananda, that the Tathagata is respected, venerated, esteemed, worshipped, and honoured in the highest degree. But Ananda, whatever bhikkhu or bhikkhuni, layman or laywoman abides by the Dharma, lives uprightly in the Dharma, walks in the way of the Dharma. It is by such a one that the Tathagata is respected, venerated, esteemed, worshipped, and honoured in the highest degree. Therefore, Ananda, thus should you train yourselves. We shall abide by the Dhamma, live uprightly in the Dhamma, walk in the way of the Dhamma.
See, the Buddha says, Sapadanam Dhammadanam Janati. From all the giving, from all the things, Dharma it's the highest. Actually, the Buddha says, just develop your own mind. Be happy. Clean your mind. This is the best things what you can worship. I'm not here for getting flowers or music. I am here to help you to go to Nirvana. So if you want to worship me, just do the way that so I don't waste my time. I'm not here for all these material things and music or whatever. I'm here to show you the way to happiness. So if you are going to the happiness, it means then you're really doing what I'm willing for. This is my service to you. So it means you worship me in the highest way. Please.
The grief of the gods. At that time, the Venerable Upavana was standing before the Blessed One, fanning him. And the Blessed One rebuked him, saying, "Move aside, bhikkhu. Do not stand in front of me."
Okay, sorry, you see what happened? There is one monk sitting. He is very good service and gives service to the monk and to the Buddha. Okay, very close students of the Buddha. And he followed the Buddha. And suddenly this man, now the Buddha lay down and going to die. And this Upavana, this student, which is really close to the Buddha and normally staying nearby the Buddha, is sitting there. And what the Buddha do? He tell him, go away, go away. The Buddha chased them away from there. So Ananda, you see, what happened to the Buddha? Why do you have to chase away? This monk is very good student for him. Why he don't? What happened to him? Why he chased them? Something happened. Please.
And to the Venerable Ananda came the thought, this Venerable Upavana has been in attendance on the Blessed One for a long time, closely associating with him and serving him. Yet now, right at the end, the Blessed One rebukes him. What now could be the reason? What the cause for the Blessed One to rebuke the Venerable Upavana, saying, "Move aside, Bhikkhu, do not stand in front of me"?
He want to ask the Buddha, why are you doing it? Why you just away this man, this good student for you, like you so much, follow you so long time, and now you just them away. What happened to you? Yeah, please.
And the Venerable Ananda told his thought to the Blessed One. The Blessed One said, "Throughout the tenfold world system, Ananda, there are hardly any of the deities that have not gathered together to look upon the Tathagata. For a distance of 12 yujanas around the Sala Grove of the Malas, in the vicinity of Kusinara, where there are not a spot that could be picked with the tip of a hair that is not filled with powerful deities. And these deities, Ananda, are complaining. From afar have we come to look upon the Tathagata, for rare in the world is the arising of the Tathagatas, Arahants, fully enlightened ones. And this day, in the last watch of the night, the Tathagatas Parinibbana will come about. But this bhikkhu of great powers has placed himself right in front of the Blessed One, concealing him, so that now, at the very end, we are prevented from looking upon him. Thus, Ananda, the deities complain.
You see something what the Buddha say, you cannot see. This man cannot see. But the angels come to look for me. They come to pay respect. They want to see me last moment. And there is no any place. They are so crowded for angels. It's not talking about human being, not yet human being. He's the only one. But he's there, so he's holding the place. So the Buddha say, they're complaining that it's disturbing them. So the Buddha is the only one in this case that in this moment that he can see so many angels come and gods and whatever you say, Brahma, different kind of identity or let's say sentient being. They come to worship the Buddha to pay respect for the Buddha. But Ananda is not capable to see this monk also cannot see. But something like they are disturbing he sitting and holding the place there. He already was with the Buddha a long time. Now let others also be. Yes.
Of what kind of deities, Lord, is the Blessed One aware? There are deities, Ananda, in space and on earth who are earthly minded. With dishevelled hair, they weep. With uplifted arms, they weep. Flinging themselves on the ground, they roll from side to side, lamenting. Too soon has the Blessed One came to his parinibbana. Too soon has the happy one come to his parinibbana. Too soon will the eye of the world vanish from sight.
Talk about identity or sentient beings which is not developed in the mind. They even not maybe sotapan or even the sotapan, even the sakatakami. But here you see they start to cry and the angels cry so much and they're rolling on the floor, something. You see sometimes the mother crawling and shouting and yeah, so much on the graveyard on the child. How much he, so much excited. So in this case, he says the same thing. Even the angels, they are rolling on the floor and shouting and crying and oh, why the Buddha dying? Why the Buddha dying? So they feel very bad about this, the Buddha dying. So he talk about this angels which is not developed in the mind. Please.
For those deities who are freed from passion, mindful and comprehending, reflect in this way. Impermanent are all compounded things. How could this be otherwise?
Say that there is also sentient beings, some angels that they are developed, can be Satkatakami or whatever, almost in the situation of Arahant or whatever. So they are free from greed, anger, delusion. And they understand everything is anicca, everything is impermanent, so they will not cry. Okay? This can be level of Sotapan also can cry. Takatakami a little bit, or sometimes can cry, but more can hold a little bit more. And Anagami will not cry, and Arahant for sure will not cry. Yeah.
Ananda's concern. Formerly, Lord, on leaving their quarters after the rains, the bhikkhus would set forth to see the Tathagata, and to us there was the gain and benefit of receiving and associating with those very revered bhikkhus who came to have an audience with the Blessed One and to wait upon him. But Lord, after the Blessed One is gone, we shall no longer have that gain and benefit.
It is where can we go? Till now you are alive. You are alive. We could come and talk with you, consider with you. We can have the benefit of Dharma that you give us. But now you will die. Who will go to pay respect? Who can we go and get close to so we can gain a benefit from this? Same like till now we used to come to you, but you will die. So what will be then? Who we can come close to him to gain this same benefit? Then what the Buddha say?
4 places of pilgrimage. There are 4 places, Ananda, that a pious person should visit and look upon with feelings of reverence. What are the 4? Here the Tathagata was born. This, Ananda, is a place that a pious person should visit and look upon with feelings of reverence. Here the Tathagata became fully enlightened in unsurpassed, supreme enlightenment. This, Ananda, is a place that the pious person should visit and look upon with feelings of reverence. Here the Tathagata set rolling the unexcelled wheel of the Dhamma. This, Ananda, is a place that the pious person should visit and look upon with feelings of reverence. Here the Tathagata passed away in the state of Nibbana, in which no element of clinging remains. This, Ananda, is a place that a pious person should visit and look upon with feelings of reverence.
The Buddha he said to Ananda, if after I will die, people should go to, if they want to get a lot of merit, they should go to the 4 places where I was active, where I was born, where I was getting enlightened, where I teach first time, and where I die. This is the 4 places that we used to go for pilgrimage so many years. Why? Because Ajarn asked us to do it. And why Ajarn asked us to do it? You see, because Buddha himself is saying, if someone will visit these 4 places, it will be very, very, I would say, give them very big merit. Now you say, now the Buddha explaining what kind of merit this person will gain if he will visit these 4 places.
These, Ananda, are the 4 places that a pious person should visit and look upon with feelings of reverence. And truly there will come to these places, Ananda, pious bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, laymen and laywomen, reflecting, here the Tathagata was born, here the Tathagata became fully enlightened in unsurpassed supreme enlightenment. Here the Tathagata set rolling the unexcelled wheel of the Dharma. Here the Tathagata passed away into the state of Nibbana, in which no element of clinging remains. And whoever, Ananda, should die on such a pilgrimage with his heart established in faith at the breaking up of the body after death will be reborn in a realm of heavenly happiness.
You see what the Buddha said, that if someone will die, if you visit this place, but what the Buddha says is that the person go there with wisdom. It's not some merchant, someone going to sell, I don't know what, pictures, and then he will come, an Indian man, and he travel, and go to Kusaka, he sell pictures, and then you go to this place, and then go to this place. So he visits 4 places, but actually he go as a businessman. He don't have any related to the Buddha life activity. So it's not mean anything. But if you go there with this understanding that this is the place Buddha born, so then it will create big energy, good motivation inside you, and next life you go to better place. Please.
Then the Venerable Ananda said, "How should we act, Lord, respecting the body of the Tathagata? Do not hinder yourself, Ananda, to honor the body of the Tathagata. Rather, you should strive, Ananda, and be zealous on your own behalf, for your own good. Unflinchingly, ardently, and resolutely, you should apply yourselves to your own good. For there are, Ananda, wise nobles, wise Brahmins, and wise householders who are devoted to the Tathagata, and it is they who will render the honor of the body of the Tathagata."
You see, Ananda is a monk, okay? He asking the Buddha, after you die, what we should do? We should cremate you, we should cover you, we should put you underground. What to do with your body after you die? So the Buddha said to him, he answered him, don't trouble yourself. Why you have to trouble yourself what to do with my body? You should practice. You don't need to do, you are a monk. You just practice meditation and develop yourself. You should not touch my body. So then the Buddha said to him,
Then the,
one moment. The one that should take care about my body is the lay people, not the monk. Monks should practice and develop themselves. The lay people, many of them, they like me, they respect me. So they will take care about me. You are a monk, you practice. You don't deal with cremation. Yeah.
then the Venerable Ananda said, "But how, Lord, should they act respecting the body of the Tathagata? After the same manner, Ananda, as towards the body of a universal monarch. But how, Lord, do they act respecting the body of a universal monarch?"
One moment, sorry. Now, you see what Ananda asking again, because the people will ask me, what should I do after you die? Okay, I'm a monk, I will not do anything. Lay people will do. But if these lay people will come and ask me later, what should we do? What should I explain them to do? Then Ananda, the Buddha said to him, tell them that they have to take care about the body of the Buddha in the same way that we call it a king turning the wheels. This is very, very special king that he coming to the world every long, long time. And normally you will see the king and all these political people, they are very, very corrupted. But this universal monarch is a very special ruler, okay? That is a king, but he ruling with the justice. This is very, very special to find, difficult to find around the world. But they are coming, and they are ruling all over the world with the justice. They are keeping the precept, they are teaching the people with the precept, and then they became rulers of all over the world. That's why when the Buddha born, the people they see this fortune teller, they saw the body of the Buddha. They thought either the Buddha will be, when he will grow up, he will be king, and he will be king all over the world. It's been universal monarch, or either he will be Buddha. So he chose to be monk and he became Buddha. But if not, he would be special king like this. So the Buddha and the Buddha said to Ananda that in the same way that you are treating this king turning the wheels, or the king which is taking care for in the good way to all over the world, which is coming very, very rare around the world, but every sometime it's coming, you should take care about the body of the Buddha in the same way. And then
The body of a universal monarch, Ananda, is first wrapped round with new linen, and then with teased cotton wool, and so it is done up to 500 layers of linen and 500 of cotton wool. When that is done, the body of the universal monarch is placed in an iron oil vessel, which is enclosed in another iron vessel. A funeral pyre is built of all kinds of perfumed woods, and so the body of the universal monarch is burned, and at the crossroads of a stupa is raised for the universal monarch. So it is done, Ananda, with the body of a universal monarch. And even, Ananda, as with the body of a universal monarch, so should it be done with the body of the Tathagata. And
sorry, before. You see, just here the Buddha, he explained the procedure of the cremation. If you want to cremate, what you should do, how to cover the body of the dead person in wool cotton and all these things. What we were just reading now, how to prepare the body before put them in the fire for cremating it, and then after this, and then at the crossroads.
And at a crossroads, also a stupa should be raised for the Tathagata. And whosoever shall bring to that place garlands or incense or sandal paste or pay reverence, and whose mind becomes calm there, it will be to this well-being and happiness for a long time.
You see, the Buddha say, after you cremate, you collect all the ashes, all the whatever left over, all the bones, or all the remains. We call it arahanta tatu. Okay, and these elements that come for the litters, all these things that come up, the relic, you collect them and you build a stupa, but in the crossroad, in the place that many people are crossing. So it will be beneficial for them when they see this, they worship the stupa, and they put the flowers, they put the candles, they put the sticks. We do all these things not because the monk in Thailand tell us, because the Buddha say how to do it. So when you do it, and you worship this relic, and faith coming on you, so this will bring a lot of merit, a lot of happiness inside you. Yeah? Then continue.
There are 4 persons, Ananda, who are worthy of a stupa. Who are these 4? A Tathagata, an Arahant, a fully enlightened one, is worthy of a stupa. So also is a Pachaka Buddha, and a disciple of a Tathagata, and a universal monarch.
Okay, the Buddha said that, jedi or stupa or pagoda, this is mean like a memorial. This is the building Spitz, I think you know it very well in Thailand, in Sri Lanka, all the Buddhist country, they build it, yeah, like that. So there's a reason that they build it in this way, presenting the 31 words that but anyway, I will not explain you now. What the Buddha say that 4 people is beneficial to do this stupa, or they're working for the stupa. This is Buddha himself. And then there is Buddha, which is not teaching. It's called Pachaka Buddha. It means silent Buddha. He get enlightened by himself, but he's not teaching anyone. And then the disciple of the Tathagata, it's been enlightened person, any enlightened person. Everyone that is getting enlightened, if they collect, they put a stupa for him. This is Arahant. And the last one is the universal monarch, the king all over the world, that just before I explain about it. So the Buddha said to Ananda, it's not only for me to put the stupa, it's beneficial if you worship, also if you worship the stupa or memorial of these 4 things. Buddha, which is the fully enlightened teacher. Pachaka Buddha, which is Buddha, someone get enlightened without teacher. disciple of the Buddha is seen any enlightened, any student that get, even you will get enlightened tomorrow. They make a stupa and people worship you, which will be beneficial for them and universal monarch. So this is what the Buddha explained to Ananda. Then,
and why Ananda is a Tathagata, an Arahan, a fully enlightened one, worthy of a stupa. Because Ananda, at the thought, this is the stupa of the Blessed One, Arahan, fully enlightened one, the hearts of many people will be calmed and made happy, and so calmed and with their minds established in faith therein, at the breaking up of the body after death, they will be reborn in a realm of heavenly happiness. And so also at that thought at the thought, this is the stupa of that Pachaka Buddha. This is the stupa. This is the stupa of a disciple of the Tathagata, Arahan, fully enlightened one. Or this is the stupa of that righteous monarch who ruled according to Dharma. The hearts of many people are calmed and made happy, and so calmed and with their minds established in faith therein, at the breaking up of the body, after death, they will be reborn in a realm of heavenly happiness. And it is because of this, Ananda, that these four persons are worthy of a stupa.
the Buddha say why it's beneficial to worship the stupa of this, and it's good for us to do the stupa for these enlightened people, because if you worship there, your mind will be very happy, and in next life you go to better place. Please.
Then the Venerable Ananda went into the vihara and leaned against the doorpost and wept. I am still but a learner and still have to strive for my own perfection. But alas, my master, who was so compassionate towards me, is about to pass away.
You see what happened to Ananda? He was just a Sotapan. I told you, Sotapan, they can cry. They feel sad. I saw even my friend, when Ajarn died, they start to cry. Monks, they crying. You know, because why? These people, even if they are Sotapan, still sadness is there, sorrow is there, and meditation is there. It means that what happened to Ananda, because he was in this moment just a Sotapan, so he was knowing, oh, my teacher going to die, I'm so sad. He go nearby the door, start to cry.
And then the Blessed One spoke to the bhikkhus, saying, where bhikkhus is Ananda? The Venerable Ananda Lord has gone into the vihara and there stands leaning against the doorpost and weeping. I am still but a learner and still have to strive for my own perfection. But alas, my master, who was so compassionate towards me, is about to pass away.
So Buddha asked, where is Ananda? He asked the monk. And the monk said, Ananda, go and cry. Please.
Then the Blessed One asked a certain bhikkhu to bring the Venerable Ananda to him, saying, go, bhikkhu, and say to Ananda, friend Ananda, the master calls you.
So the Buddha calling to Ananda, you want to explain it, please.
So be it, Lord. And that bhikkhu went and spoke to the Venerable Ananda as the Blessed One had asked him to. And the Venerable Ananda went to the Blessed One, bowed down to him, and sat down on one side. Then the Blessed One spoke to the Venerable Ananda, saying, enough, Ananda, do not grieve, do not lament, for have I not taught from the very beginning that all that is dear and beloved there must be change, separation and severance, of that which is born, come into being, compounded and subject to decay. How can one say, may it not come to dissolution? There can be no such state of things. Now for a long time, Ananda, you have served the Tathagata with loving kindness indeed, word, thought, graciously, pleasantly, with a whole heart and beyond measure. Great good you have gathered, Ananda. Now you should put forth energy, and soon you too will be free from the taints.
So the Buddha explained to Ananda, everything changing. I already told you, explained you that everything has to end. Nothing to worry about, nothing to sorrow and sadness. Anyway, things changing. And then the Buddha promised to Ananda, you just practice intensively, you will be enlightened. Yeah.
Then the Blessed One addressed the bhikkhus, saying, Bhikkhus, the Blessed Ones, Arahants, fully enlightened ones of times past, also had excellent and devoted attendant bhikkhus, such as I have had in Ananda. And so also, bhikkhus, will the Blessed Ones, Arahants, fully enlightened ones of times to come.
The Buddha is saying, you see what the Buddha is saying? He say, all the Buddha in the past have assisted them like me, like Ananda. All the Buddha in the future also will have a same assistant like me, like Ananda. Assistant of the Buddha, all Buddha will use. All of them will have an assistant like Ananda. Same qualities. Yeah.
The past glory of Kusanara. When this had been said, the Venerable Ananda spoke to the Blessed One, saying, Let it not be, Lord, that the Blessed One should pass away in this mean place, this uncivilized township in the midst of the jungle, a mere outpost of the province. There are great cities, Lord, such as Kampa, Rajagaha, Savatthi, Saketa, Kosambi, and Benares. Let the Blessed One have his final passing away in one of those. For in those cities dwell many wealthy nobles and Brahmins and householders who are devotees of the Tathagata, and they will render due honor to the remains of the Tathagata.
When you will come with us, or if you go, you visit in the Kusinara, it's only one street. It's very, very small place, actually. Nothing is there. It's very remote place. Even before, maybe it was jungle, but now even no jungle, no tree around. So Ananda asked the Buddha, why you have to choose this small place? You are so big, you know, if you go to Varanasi, you see so big city. All these cities that now we mentioned, it was very, very big city in the time of the Buddha, actually. Very luxury, a lot of people believe the Buddha and offer land to the Buddha. And then Buddha want to pass away in so small place. So he asked the Buddha, why you need to stay in a small city like this? You have a small town like this. And actually you have so many big, what kind of shoes you choose? Yeah.
Do not say that, Ananda. Do not say this mean place, this uncivilized township in the midst of the jungle, a mere outpost of the province. In times long past, Ananda, there was a king by the name of Maha-parinibbana, who was a universal monarch, a king of a king of righteousness, a conqueror of the four quarters of the earth, whose realm was established in security, and who was endowed with the seven jewels. And that king Maha-parinibbana Ananda had his royal residence here at Kusanara, which was then called Kusavati, and it extended 12 yojanas from east to west and 7 from north to south.
Okay, just to let you know, Ujjana, it's about 16 kilometers, okay? Long. And by the way, what the Buddha said to him, now it's a small town, but in the past, it was very, very big city, actually. And in this city, it was one king, Sudarsana name. And this Sudarsana actually was king turning the wheels, what I explained you, the king that controlled all over the world from here. So it means that this small town, in the past time, was very, very great city. And actually, you know who was this Sudarsana? The Buddha himself. Buddha himself in the past life, his name was Sudarsana in one of his past lives. And he was the king turning the wheels in this city. Okay, so now he's reborn, he's going to die. And all the Buddha will die in Kusinara. Kusinara is the name of all the Buddha dying place. Okay, all the Buddha in the past and the future will die in a place called Kusinara. Okay, so the Buddha himself, he was a king turning the wheels, and this was the capital of this kingdom that time. So the Buddha said, don't think like this. Now it's a small town, but in the past it was a great place, even called Kusavati actually. Now we call it Kusinara. Yeah.
And mighty Ananda was Kusavati, the capital, prosperous and well populated, much frequented by people, and abundantly provided with food, just as the royal residence of the deities, Alakamanda, is mighty, prosperous, and well populated, much frequented by deities, and abundantly provided with food. So was the royal capital of Kusavati. Kusavati Ananda resounded unceasingly day and night with 10 sounds, the trumpeting of elephants, the neighing of horses, the rattling of chariots, the beating of drums, and tabors, music and song, cheers, the clapping of hands and cries of eat, drink, and be merry.
Explain him how much prosperity was this city before. Yeah, please.
Lamentation of the Malas. Go now, Ananda, to Kusinara and announce to the Malas, today, Vasetas, in the last watch of the night, the Tathagata Parinibbana will take place. Approach, O Vasatas, draw near, do not be remorseful later at the thought. In our township, it was that the Tathagata Parinibbana took place, but we failed to see him at the end.
Now the Buddha said to Ananda, please go and tell the people that the Buddha is going to die in the night if they want to come to meet me in the last moment. Otherwise, they will be sorry. Oh, why you didn't tell us? We didn't know the Buddha died, and then we miss him. So come, and if they want to say, pay respect the last moment, to say goodbye or whatever, to say thank you or appreciate, or so please let them inform them. So if they want, they can.
So be it, Lord. And the Venerable Ananda prepared himself, and taking bowl and robe, went with the companion to Kusinara. Now at that time, the Malas had gathered in the council hall for some public business, and the Venerable Ananda approached them and announced, today, Vasatas, in the last watch of the night, the Tathagata's Parinibbana will take place. Approach, Vasatas, draw near. Do not be remorseful later at the thought. In our township, it was that the Tathagata's Parinibbana took place, but we failed to see him at the end.
Ananda is going and calling to them. They're just in the middle of meeting. So Ananda is disturbing them and tell them the message. Buddha is going to die. Yeah.
When they heard the Venerable Ananda speak these words, the Malas, with their sons, their wives, and with their sons, their wives, and their wives of their sons, were surely grieved at the heart and afflicted, and some with their hair all dishevelled, with arms uplifted in despair, wept, flinging themselves on the ground. They rolled from side to side, lamenting, too soon has the Blessed One come to his Parinibbana. Too soon has the Happy One come to his Parinibbana. Too soon will the eye of the world vanish from sight.
You see, same things like the angels before were listening, they start to crawl on the floor and crying and shouting. And, yeah? So the people also behaving, describe the same thing. getting panic. Oh, why the Buddha dying? Okay, so this is people which is not developing the mind.
And thus, afflicted and filled with grief, the Malas with their sons, their wives, and the wives of their sons went to the Sala Grove, the recreation park of the Malas, to the place where the Venerable Ananda was. And the thought arose in the Venerable Ananda, if I were to allow the Malas of Kisanara to pay reverence to the Blessed one by one, the night would have given place to dawn before they all presented to him. Therefore, let me divide them up according to clan, each family in a group, and so present them to the Blessed One thus. The Mala of such and such a name, Lord, with his wives and children, his attendants and his friends, pay homage at the feet of the Blessed One.
Now they are coming. After Ananda called them, they are coming. But so many people. So Ananda asking what to do. How can I let all these group of people complete and pay respect to the Buddha till the night? It's going to morning. He's going to die. So Ananda thinking, what should I do? He say, I will family by family. And I just introduced the fathers, the most elder person, and then they already, so like this family by family, it will be the most easy to do. Yeah.
And the Venerable Ananda divided the Malas up according to clan, each family in a group, and presented them to the Blessed One. So it was that the Venerable Ananda caused the Malas of Kusinara to be presented to the Blessed One by clans, each family in a group, even in the first watch of the night.
First watch of the night, it's mean till about between, I think, 6 to 10 o'clock, something like this. Also, very late at night, yeah.
The last convert. Now, at the time, a wandering ascetic named Subhadra was dwelling at Kusinara. And Subhadra, the wandering ascetic, heard it said, today, in the third watch of the night, the parinibbana of the ascetic Gautama will take place. And the thought arose in him, I have heard it said by old and venerable wandering ascetics, teachers of teachers, that the arising of the Tathagatas, arahants, fully enlightened ones, is rare in the world. Yet, this very day, in this last watch of the night, the parinibbana of the ascetic Gautama will take place. Now there is in me a doubt, but to this extent I have faith in the ascetic Gautama, that he could so teach me the Dharma as to remove that doubt.
What happened is that now, during this time, there is one man named Subhadra. And Subhadra, he's actually believe in another religion, but he gets confused totally. All the teacher teaching different things, one say like this, one like that. He don't know which teaching is to go. So he have doubt about the way, which teacher to follow. So he asked, he wanted to know, maybe I heard that this enlightened person can answer me, but he's going to die. I must hurry and ask him the questions before he passes away, and then I cannot ask him anymore. So he's coming to the Buddha. Yeah.
Then the wandering ascetic Subhadra went to the Sala Grove, the recreation park of the Malas, and drew near to the Venerable Ananda, and told the Venerable Ananda his thought. And he spoke to the Venerable Ananda, saying, Friend Ananda, it would be good if I could be allowed into the presence of the ascetic Gautama. But the Venerable Ananda answered him, saying, Enough, friend Subhadra, do not trouble the Tathagata. The Blessed One is weary.
You see what? He's coming, but first he have to go through Ananda. So he's come to Ananda, and Ananda said, no, it's not the time. Buddha is too tired. You cannot talk to him now. He want to ask the question, but Ananda prevent them. He said, no, don't disturb the Buddha. Yeah.
Yet a second and a third time, the wandering ascetic Subhadra made his request, and a second and a third time, the Venerable Ananda refused him. And the Blessed One heard the talk between them, and he called the Venerable Ananda and he said, "Stop, Ananda, do not refuse Subhadra. Subhadra Ananda may be allowed into the presence of the Tathagata. For whatever he will ask me, he will ask for the sake of knowledge and not as an offense. And the answer I give him that he will readily understand."
See how clever is the Buddha, what power Buddha has. He already know that this Subhadra is ready to get the lesson. It will be answer for him. It will be very great beneficial for him. So he said to Ananda, don't stop him. Let them come. Don't worry. I can take it and I can teach him. And he is capable also to learn. So he asked Ananda to allow Subhadra to come to ask the question.
Thereupon the Venerable Ananda said to the wandering ascetic, "Subhadra, go then, friend Subhadra. The Blessed One gives you leave." Then the wandering ascetic Subhadra approached the Blessed One and saluted him courteously. And having exchanged with him pleasant and civil greetings, the wandering ascetic Subhadra seated himself at one side and addressed the Blessed One, saying, "There are, Venerable Gautama, ascetics, Brahmas, who are heads of great companies of disciples, who have large retinues, who are leaders of schools, well known and renowned, and held in high esteem by the multitude. Such teachers and renowned and held in high esteem by multitude, such teachers as Purana, Kassapa, Makali, Gosala, Ajita, Kasakambali, Pakuda, Kachayana, Sayana, Balatapatu, Nagata, Nataputta, have all these attained realization, as each of them would have it believed, or has none of them? Or is it that some of them have attained realization and others not?
He said there are so many teachers. Which of them enlightened? I don't know. Maybe all of them enlightened, maybe part of them enlightened, part of them not enlightened. He investigated with the Buddha. He assumed that the Buddha can tell him which of them is a great teacher and a good teacher and a real teacher and an enlightened one. Okay? So
enough, Subhadra. Let it be as it may, whether all of them have attained realization, as each of them would have it believed, or whether none of them has, or whether some have attained realization and others not. I will teach you the Dhamma, Subhadra. Listen and heed it well, and I will speak. So be it, Lord.
You see what the Buddha answered? He said, it doesn't matter the teacher, the enlightened, the don't enlightened, forget about it. I will teach you the Dharma. And then you follow the Dharma. You don't follow the expectation and the judging and all these things, who is enlightened, who is not enlightened. I teach you what kind of Dharma which will lead you to the real goal.
The lions roar. And the Blessed One spoke, saying, "In whatsoever Dharma and discipline, Subhadra, there is not found the noble eightfold path, neither is there found a true ascetic of the first, second, third, or fourth degree of saintliness. But in whatsoever Dharma and discipline there is found the noble eightfold path, there is found a true ascetic of the first, second, third, and fourth degrees of saintliness. Now, in this Dharma and discipline, Subhadra, is found the noble eightfold path, and in it alone are also found true ascetics of the first, second, third, and fourth degrees of saintliness. Devoid of true ascetics are the systems of other teachers. But if, Subhadra, the bhikkhus live righteously, the world will not be destitute of arahants.
See what the Buddha said? It doesn't matter what religion, it doesn't matter what, as long as each religion or whatever the religion will be eightfold path. The way is eightfold path, then you don't miss four kinds of people. It's talk about Sotapan, Takatakami, Anagami, and Harahant. What the Buddha talking about, four kinds of disciples. Okay, the first, second, and third, and fourth. The Sotapan enter the way, once returner, no returner, and Arahant, enlightened. That's what the Buddha explained to Subhadra. The way is eightfold path.
In age, but 29 was I, Subhadra, when I renounced the world to seek the good. 51 years have passed since then, Subhadra, and in all that time, a wanderer have I been in the domain of virtue and truth, and except therein, there is no saint of the first degree.
You say I traveled so many, but I could not find the teaching at that time. Yeah.
And there is none of the second degree, nor the third degree, nor the fourth degree of saintliness. Devoid of true ascetics are the systems of other teachers. But if, Subhadra, the bhikkhus live righteously, the world will not be destitute of arahants.
You see what the Buddha said? If the monk will practice according to the Eightfold Path, it will not be in the world, still will be enlightened people. It means should be now enlightened people.
When this was said, the wandering ascetic Subhadra spoke to the Blessed One, saying, Excellent, O Lord, most excellent, O Lord. It is as if, Lord, one were to set upright what has been overthrown, or to reveal what has been hidden, or to show the path to one who has gone astray, or to light a lamp in the darkness so that those with eyes might see. Even so has the Blessed One set forth the Dharma in many ways. And in so, O Lord, I take my refuge in the Blessed One, the Dharma, and the community of bhikkhus. May I receive from the Blessed One admission to the order and also the higher ordination.
Subhadra hearing about the Buddha teaching, and he excited about the teaching. He said, I want to be monk under your teaching, and to be bhikkhu also. Okay, so you didn't see what the Buddha tell him. Excited, he said, please ordain me, I want to be your student. So
whoever, Subhadra, having been formerly a follower of another creed, wishes to receive admission and higher ordination in this Dharma and discipline, remains on probation for a period of 4 months. At the end of those 4 months, if the bhikkhus are satisfied with him, they grant him admission and higher ordination as a bhikkhu. Yet, in this matter, I recognize differences of personality.
you see what happened? Buddha tell him, if you are coming from another religion, you come from any kind of religion that you believe on other things, and now you want to be monk, you cannot be immediately monk. Normally, you have to wait 4 months. It means, what is mean? Buddha is going to die tonight. It means you will not be able to ordain under the Buddha. If I have to wait another 3 or 4 months, it means you will not be my ordinator. You will die tonight. So the Buddha said to him, but sometimes there is different. People which I consider people different. Characteristics people are different. Okay, that's what he said to him. So you see what Subhadra, even he have so faith in the Buddha, what he saying.
If, O Lord, whoever having been formerly a follower of another creed, wishes to receive admission and higher ordination in this Dharma and discipline, remains on probation for a period of 4 months, and at the end of these 4 months, if the bhikkhus are satisfied with him, they grant him a mission and higher ordination as a bhikkhu. Then I will remain on probation for a period of 4 years. And at the end of those 4 years, if the bhikkhus are satisfied with me, let them grant me admission and higher ordination as a bhikkhu.
You see, he's not coming with a greedy. I want just to be monk. Why you don't make me monk? He say to him opposite. He say, I believe you already. You show me the way already. So it doesn't matter. I'm not jumping to be a monk. If it's normally people, they have to wait 4 months. I can wait 4 years because I already know the way. So I have patience to I can practice like this before I'm a monk also. And then the bhikkhu will check me after 4 years, and then they can ordain me because I already satisfied and I already sure that this is the way that I want to go. This is what Subhadra said to the Buddha. So something like, I don't worry that you will not ordain me, but because I know the way already good for me.
But the Blessed One called the Venerable Ananda and said to him, Ananda, let Subhadra be given admission into the order. And the Venerable Ananda replied, so be it, Lord.
Okay, the Buddha said, let them be monk. You ordain them like this already. No need to wait even 1 day. Just ordain them now. I will be the ordinator for you. It means the Buddha was ordaining them in this spot. It means the last students of the Buddha, which the Buddha ordained by himself.
Yeah. Then the wandering ascetic Subhadra said to the Venerable Ananda, it is a gain to you, friend Ananda, a blessing, that in the presence of the Master himself, you have received the sprinkling of ordination as a disciple.
You see, but Ananda, he of course got the ordination 25 years ago from the Buddha. And Subhadra became a monk under the Buddha. So he wanted to show how much he appreciated that the Buddha was his direct teacher, direct ordinator. So he said to Ananda himself, how lucky you are that you were ordained by the Buddha. It means how lucky we are that the Buddha was our teacher, direct teacher, ordained us. Yeah? Something I appreciate the state, what we get from the Buddha, the present we get from the Buddha.
So it came about that the wandering ascetic Subhadra, in the presence of the Blessed One, received admission and higher ordination. And from the time of his ordination, the Venerable Subhadra remained alone, secluded, heedful, ardent, and resolute, and before long attained to the goal for which a worthy man goes forth rightly from home to homelessness, the supreme goal of the holy life, and having by himself realized it with higher knowledge, he dwelt therein. He knew, destroyed his birth. The higher life is fulfilled. Nothing more is to be done. And beyond this life, nothing more remains. And the Venerable Subhadra came yet to another among the Arahants. And he was the last disciple converted by the Blessed One.
Okay, so actually we make break here. You see, this is to say that actually Subhadra was the last student of the Buddha, which direct and get ordination from the Buddha. There is no other monks. Then the morning, early morning, the third watch of the night, the Buddha passing away. This we will continue. I don't sure when it will be the next time because the
23rd of June I announced already.
Wonderful. 23rd of June, huh? 23rd of June. Next week, not next week. Tomorrow I'm starting my retreat. I'm going to retreat myself. So 2 weeks, and then I think Dhammacharya Center will be also sometime retreat. So 23, we will meet again, and then we will continue for part 6, the passing away of the Buddha, and or what happened after. Okay, so actually now we coming to the situation that we, uh, the Buddha is passing away, and then what happened after the Buddha died? So all the rest will be about 1 week, something like this, 1 week after the Buddha passing away. This is the next continue of the story that we do do. But this is like talk about like I'm getting 20 this month. Any questions? I will shut down I will stop the sharing, or you will have questions about the sharing. Please. I'm sorry that it's come to be a little bit long, but you see, the sutta actually so long. I told you that from what we are reading now, I cut some things which is to make it shorter. Something like what is relevant to our conversation, what our talk about the dying of the Buddha. Things which is not important, I took out, but still it's long. So of this, it's called Tika Nikaya, long discourses. There is altogether, I think, 29 sutta of long discourses. Please, anyone want to ask something about anything? Subject or other subject about what we talk today, what we talk about past week.
Hello, Ofer, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I just wanted to ask, I am in the daily retreat, and tomorrow I have to call you for the report. When
Yeah.
you are in retreat, is it okay to call you, or should I not call you tomorrow?
Tomorrow you will complete how many rounds?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
How many rounds it will be that you will complete tomorrow?
I am practicing now Adina Vayana.
Yeah, but I mean how many rounds have you done already? I tell you something. Please
Yeah.
call me this evening and we talk about it.
When should I call you?
This evening. Later
Okay.
on, after we finish the talk, you can call me and then we talk about it.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Please, any other questions? So clear, huh? Everything so clear?
Digesting, Ofer.
Sorry?
We have to digest again.
You have started. Okay, so thank you very much again. And I wish you good night. And all the good things you are doing will be conditioned for you for Maha-parinibbana and Nirvana estimate. Find the real happiness. And hopefully we'll meet next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ajarn.
Welcome. Thank you, Martin, for reading.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Ajarn.
Good night, everybody.
Please.